Welcome to A Study in Housekeeping, which is a bit of play on words because we are going to be doing some vlog housekeeping. I'm going to be doing the Booktube Newbie tag, which answering a lot of questions about my reading tastes and just what I hope to get out of this vlog. And we're going to be doing some actual housekeeping because my books could really use a dusting. It's time. So the first Booktube question is, why did you start this channel? Why Booktube? I have been on Bookstagram for a really long time, my dear stalker darling, and it's been great, but I definitely run out of space talking about things just really often and really, and there's so much more I want to talk about that's hard to squeeze into an Instagram post. I want to talk about like comparing different genres. I want to do huge recommendation lists that aren't just like, oh, read these books for fall. I want to tell you why you should read them for fall, why they're amazing. I'm like the queen of unsolicited, enthusiastic book reviews. My friends are constantly getting frustrated with me because I recommend them so many books that I think they would love, that I love, and I just can't help it. I'm just so enthusiastic and I love them. So to me, this is just the most natural and obvious way to do this. And I specifically am doing this now because I could really use a fresh creative outlet. I've also been, I mentioned this briefly in my first video, but I'm a writer myself. I have written a book and I've been trying to get it published, traditionally published, for quite some time now. And that has also been frustrating. Querying agents is like the worst thing ever. It's all the worst parts of online dating and all the worst parts of applying for a job, because you have to like find out where you're compatible with this person and then like submit all this stuff over and over and just get rejected constantly. So yes, I was ready for a new way to express myself creatively, because right now writing has a lot of baggage with it, with all that rejection on board. All right, question 2. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? I think myself. They say for on YouTube, I have a friend who she's very knowledgeable about YouTube, and like her partner, like his whole career is his YouTube channel, and she was really helpful in saying people come to YouTube to follow personalities more than content even, and I think I can bring that, if you can't tell. I'm also going to bring, I hope, an open mind. I really struggle with the way the reading world has gone lately, where there are so many new readers reading so many books, and there's a lot of people who have been readers for a long time kind of shaming them for the books that they choose to read. And I never want to discourage anyone from reading. I never want anyone to feel like, you know, that you can't just read for fun. Like, so I'm going to try really hard not to judge anybody for what they read until I've read it for myself. If I've read it myself and I think it's bad, I'm not gonna judge you or your taste. I'm just gonna really tell you you can do better and try to suggest books that are better. Like people who just love ACOTAR. Oh my god, you have no idea the fantasy and romance books out there that are so good that I think you would absolutely love. You have no idea. And it makes me sad that you have no idea. And when you try to find other book recommendations, I see a lot of people like shaming people, like, read this, not ACOTAR, because ACOTAR sucks. So yeah, I'm hoping to bring an open mind and my very varied personality. Question 3, I made up myself, is why the glasses? What's with the glasses? I think they're very much going to be a key part of my personality on here. I hope they display my very weird, if you can't tell, I feel like this is the most obvious thing about me, but I'm a Gemini. And Geminis are the twins. They tend to be like two opposites at once. So you've got like Sherlock Holmes, dark academia and all that, and then like the absolute glitter and chaos that is being a Swiftie. I love romance books. You can see they're overflowing behind me. I love reading children's books. I love reading classic books. I'm supposed to be answering a question about my glasses. And so my point is, glasses are very much part of my personality on here, I hope. They practically, they have two functions. One, I am freaked out by AI and the misuse of AI, and I don't want anyone just stealing my face for things. So I'm kind of using these as a bit of a disguise. And also, number two, they're absolutely fabulous. I made them myself. I also love them because they make me feel fabulous, and I feel like I don't have to worry about what I look like. I love a good lipstick. I love jewelry. I love, you know, all the cute girly dressing up things, but I don't want to have to worry about, are those shadows under my eyes too much today? Should I have put on mascara? I don't want to have to deal with that. So it's just glasses on. We're here to have fun. That's my main goal, which is actually question number 4. What are you most excited about for this new channel? I'm excited to have fun. I want to have fun. I want to have fun creating, and I want to have fun talking about the books that I'm interested in and I love. I talk about books so much with people who do not know what I am talking about. I know a fair number of readers, but I don't know anyone whose reading taste really aligns with mine. I think it's because my reading taste is so varied that it's hard to find someone who can check all the boxes. Like, okay, I can talk about Sherlock Holmes with you. I can talk about Shakespeare with you. I can talk about romance books with you, but I cannot talk about any of those things with all of you, which is fine. It's amazing. Again, I love talking books, any books, all the time, anytime. But for all those conversations that I feel like nobody's getting, and for all those things I want to say that I know I'm boring someone by just ranting on, I'm excited to bring that energy here and bring those conversations and discussions here. Even if I'm just talking to myself, really. Question 5 is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be hardest to overcome? So I actually thought the technology aspect would be the hardest to overcome. The whole reason this idea to start a channel came up in the first place is because my mom has been doing a lot of training and stuff with various marketing techniques and technology, and she really wanted to practice. And I said, hey, I've got this idea. Do you want to we can do it together and work on this together? So we have been, shout out to my mom, but neither one of us knows all the technology and cameras and editing, and I don't even know what software I'm going to be using as I'm filming this, which is great. It'll be fine. It's fine. It'll come out fine. So I thought that would be challenging. However, after my first video, this part is a lot harder than I thought. This is easy because I have questions to guide me, which might be a key in the future in doing these, but it's hard to just sit and talk to yourself. Hilariously, in my book that I wrote that I'm trying to get published, my main character is a vlogger and podcaster and all these things. That's her whole, it's how she pays for her life. And I did not know all that goes into that when I started writing the book, and I wanted her to have a partner in this, and so I gave her an assistant, who sits there, and she says, oh, I hired him because I hated talking to myself on the camera. And I was like, oh yeah, some people probably would, but I'd be fine. And now I'm like, no, girl, that's very valid. That's so legit. It's weird to just sit here and talk to yourself. No wonder why so many podcasters and stuff go, back and forth, always have a partner to riff off of. I also think a challenge is the whole mental health connection to social media, where whenever you put yourself out on any platform and there's a numerical value attached to likes and views and stuff, it's hard not to feel like that is your value. That's how much you're wanted. That's how much you're needed in the world. It's difficult to separate that. So I'm trying really hard to mentally focus on the creative part of this rather than the output of this, which I think is one of the things I always struggled with on my Bookstagram, because I really didn't enjoy taking all those photos. It was always really tedious, and I'll still do it. But on my Bookstagram. But that's not the part I enjoy. I enjoy having the discussion. Question 6. Who are your favorite booktubers? So really the whole reason I'm here is because of Miranda Mills, icon, legend. Her lifestyle vlog, Booktube, is what inspired me to do this from the get-go, especially seeing her work with her mom. That's what really inspired my idea to like work with my mom on this. And I just love her, and I love her content. I actually lived in England for a little over a year, and I loved it so much there. I'd love to go back. I'd love to stay. If anyone wants to just hand me like a green card or citizenship or something, that'd be great. But yeah, so I love watching her. I love watching a lot of British booktubers. Question 7 is, why do you love reading? Which I could probably spend an hour talking about why I love reading. But really succinctly, I think we all know it's the escapism. It's the, I like to say the gossip. I'm a Gemini. I love gossip. I live for gossip. I live for the tea. And books are really just getting a glimpse into someone else's life. It's like the Taylor Swift song. I look in people's windows. Books are just me peeping into somebody's window. So yeah, I love the escapism, and I love the friendships you find in the books. I've always felt, my mom's always said, your books are your friends. And I feel that so deeply. I struggled with friendships a lot growing up. And so to now, just, your books are always there for you. They're always there for you. And you know, you spend so much time with some characters and in some settings that it just feels like home, and you can always rely on those books to be there and to be there to comfort you. Now, granted, I'm immediately thinking about certain books that I and many thousands of people thought would be like that, and then the author turned into a psychotic transphobe, and those books don't really feel like that anymore. But that's why there's so many books out there. We can just shuffle those off to the side. They're genuinely sitting like way in the corner over there. They're shunned. Now question 8 is, what are your favorite genres? What do your shelves look like? Which you've been seeing some of throughout here, and you can see that I have incredibly chaotic and varied taste. But that is one of the other things I love about reading, is that there's always something new. So when I started really getting into reading, I started with detective fiction. I started with Sherlock Holmes, and pretty much exclusively read detective fiction and some classics. And then I read my first like real romance book, like contemporary romance book, when I was 19. And wow, that changed my life. Then I was like, wow, this is amazing. It just makes you so happy and fluffy and joyful. So then I got really into romance. And then I'd say like 2 or 3 years ago, I got really into fantasy. I've started getting into nonfiction. And honestly, I'm just like proud of myself, but also so impressed by myself, because there have been books like, for example, the Shadow and Bone series. My friends tried to get me to read that in like when I was 20 or 21. And I immediately read the first page and I was like, this is not for me. I don't get it. I don't want it. And then years later, when I was 24 or 5, I picked it up again and I was like, this is incredible. I love it. And that was because I'd like worked my way up through other fantasy books and like cross genres and stuff. And I feel the same way about nonfiction now. I'm reading these books that I would have never imagined myself choosing for fun. So really, the only genre I'm not a fan of and haven't really tried is horror, because I'm a coward. The old Twilight Zone shows where you can like see the costume plastic feet on the characters, those freak me out. Those scare me. I can't sleep after watching those. Alfred Hitchcock, I mean, he's scary because he does like all the psychological, but like, yeah, that's enough. Actual horror and gore, no thank you. No thank you. I also have an incredibly niche and specific reading taste. Like, I know what I want. I know what I'm going to enjoy. I know I'm not going to enjoy a nonfiction book that's written in really dry language. I need it to be really engaging, and I need it to be on a subject I actually care about. I know that I don't like the super dark fantasies. And yeah, anything that was once Raylo fan fiction, I will read that. Every Sherlock Holmes pastiche retelling that you can find, I will read it. I probably have read it. It's kind of my problem at the moment. Yeah, I will read just about anything. So please be prepared for an incredibly varied collection of studies. Coming up, we have, I've planned, you know, a number of Sherlock Holmes related studies. I want to do a deep dive into my novel that I wrote, and also the process of getting said novel published, because that's a nightmare, but also a lot of people wonder about that and don't know where to start. Study in autumnal book recommendations. I love fall book recommendations, and I have so many I'm ready to just throw at you. So yes, please stay tuned. If you've made it this far, even if you haven't, I don't know, please leave a comment of which pair of glasses was your favorite that I showed you. I would love to know what the people like. And yeah, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.